So I'm back with another exciting video on how to automate your trading using Sierra charts and using our bots. So if you haven't watched the London Trade Show presentation, then I do suggest you do that. Without further ado, let's talk about how we maximize our profits and how our bots do that. Let's jump to the charts and show you that in action. Right, so we had this trade before. We automatically generated a trade for it, but obviously, as you can see, it's only 30 points. Now, we obviously want to maximize what we can get. So what we're going to do is add a trailing stop body study onto there that automatically generates potentially a trailing stop. So we're just going to use the default settings just for this, right? And we're going to see how this actually holds. Now that's going to take us up to there, which is cool. I'm happy with that from a point of view, just showing you this in action. Right, we can actually make this, in fact actually we will adjust this. We can actually change these settings, right? As an example, we could do 2 there, and then you can see there would come out there. So you can actually change this to what you think is best for you and for your market and for your basically for what you're doing. So if it's, obviously we can have 3 and 2, right? Now, so basically in a nutshell, that is going to be our trailing stop bot, right? Now, what we need to do is we're going to just set the trade manager to have a target of 500 instead of 30, so it's not going to come out. Hang on a minute, 500 on the first one. This works if we've got multiple contracts. It automatically works out how many contracts we've got, but and distributes these between these. But we're not going to do that as we speak. We're going to basically generate. We're going to say that we want the stop manager to work after 5 bars, right? So firstly, because obviously you can see there we've got a little bit sideways action. When we're going in on consolidation, you're always going to see sideways action. So obviously you don't really want a stop in that place. You want an emergency stop in place so that you don't get stopped out. Right, now in this instance you can see there we don't actually get stopped out. Right, so what we want to do now is we've got the trailing stop bot. We now need to add a profit manager bot. So we need to go into this one. And we're going to use, excuse me, we're going to use this bot. We're going to enable this. And we're going to use it for stops, so we can use it for targets. And we're going to use the trailing stop bot. Right, we're going to use TS up, which is the one for going up. Now we do want to activate this. So obviously we're not going to activate it straight off. We're going to use the trade manager. And we're basically going to use the corresponding delay linear regression. So literally there we're basically going to use that, and that's going to generate. We're going to do it on bar close, and we can do it if you want faster on that. We can do it on seconds, and we're just going to have an offset of 10 points below the actual line, just so that basically we don't get stopped out easily. Now we're going to set that to long only. Right, we only want to modify it in one direction. Right, we don't want to change it. We don't want 0 values. We don't want negative values. And we're going to use the nearest order, and we're just basically going to say that we want that to run all the time. So again, you can actually have different stop managers at different times depending on the volatility. Right, we can actually send that to Discord as well. So we can actually, every time we modify a stop, we can actually send it automatically to our servers. Now on our trade screens, that's what we do. So obviously we have all this on our trading systems and on screen share, which you're more than welcome to come and see what we actually do. Just messages on the bottom of this video if you're interested. So we've now got that maximizer on there, and that's going to manage that trailing stop. So let's see that in action. So that's what the purpose of this video is to do. So we're going to play that, and we're going to see it go in So we're going to just have the processing speed of 0.1 seconds. We're going to run it up 15, just for basically, we don't want to be here all day watching the charts. So, and then let's see it in action. Right, so we've got a trade there, we've got the stop there, and what we can now do, now that we're in this, we're just going to speed it up to 30. Right. And watch what happens when we've hit the 5 bar situation, because that's when it should trigger. That's when it should start managing this. So you can see there we're fluctuating. We fluctuate quite a bit when we first start out. Right, down to the consolidation situation. So you can see we're running all the charts, so because we need to run them all so that we can pull information across when we're back testing. So let's speed it up to 60. Right, okie doke. Here we go. Right, how many bars have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, let's see. Right, there you go. And now we're managing it. And you can see there we're now managing it and protecting that position. So that's what we do on our automated bots. We want to lock in the profits. Now this is not a trailing stop bot per se. It does take into quite a few different factors. For one, you can actually activate it when you want, and obviously for two, you can actually have a number of these running with different settings depending on the volatility and our vol as an example. So obviously this is where they come into their own, because obviously you would want a different type of stop management in a low volatility environment to one where basically you've got high volatility, or for instance you would want a different stop type of management in a trending environment to a rotational environment, because obviously on a rotational environment what you want to do is effectively aggressively follow the trade up really quickly and then stop yourself out and then take another trade and so on and so forth. But you can see this is in action. You can see how it can lock in your profits and then just moves it along. Now obviously once we start turning, then this stop bot automatically recognizes based on the time frame analysis that we are actually going to be starting to go down. Now what we do actually do is we have on the main screen share, we have 3 screens. We have planning screen, execution screen, and then focus on which way you should be trading, i.e. should we be buying or selling. And obviously one of the things that this does actually do, by having this green line below, we should really be focused on buying, and then obviously if we have the red line above, we should be focused on selling. And that'll automatically switch, which we'll see that on this particular video shortly. We are at 60 times the speed, but we are actually processing a lot with these bots. If you look at how fast they're processing, which you can see that in Sierra charts, it tells you how fast they're processing. So if we look, day plan manager's running pretty quick. That's running, the delta's running in 1. Pattern finder's running in 1 millisecond. That's running in 1 millisecond. So there's no hold-ups on this, so it's actually running. So it's running pretty quick. No, we don't want to touch that. We just want it to do its own thing. So we're up 300 points on this. Obviously, that's a fair old chunk of points on the Dow. So come on, reverse. We want to see it reverse. So if you have it accurate trading system backtest mode, which you've got the ability to do standard replay, calculate real time. Real time is obviously the most. Second only to this actually. Every tick. Right, so on this one you will skip some ticks, and you obviously effectively in that instance don't have the complete accuracy. But the fact of the matter is what you want to do is start back testing, get your strategy working, and then really hone in on it I double checked that it would work in real time by using it on the real time site, but it does slow it down. Now obviously on the first one, standard replay is a hell of a lot faster than accurate trading back test mode. And then you go, it's swapped and got us out. So that's what I wanted to show you on this video. I hope you found that very useful. Now, what I'm going to go into is on the next video, I'm going to show you the anchored VWAP bot based on the rotation bot and the automatic rotation. So I'm going to show you that in action as well. Again, we showed you that on the London Trader Show, but what we didn't do is actually delve right down into it. So in this next video, we're going to do that. So without further ado, all that remains me to be said is see you on the next video.